Hey crafty friends, today we're going to make this mom shirt for Mother's Day. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to get started in Design Space. So first we're going to go to text and type out in capital letters our mom. The font everybody wants to use for this, or the font that's popular for this, looks like a typewriter font, and something everybody should have on their font menu is Times New Roman. And I like to reduce the space between these letters. I don't like my letters spaced that far apart, so I'm going to go up to the top menu, the letter spacing, and reduce the letter spacing so my letters go back closer together. That looks pretty good. And then the size you want the mom is somewhere between 10 and 11 inches usually. So we're just going to pick 10 inches. And then for now, the mom is done. So we can put that over to the side. And then next we're going to do our kids' names. Actually, we're going to start with the hearts and the swooshes. So the font you want for this is called I Love Glitter. And to get the heart, you're going to use that up and down thing. This isn't a letter I. It's above your return or enter button. It's just the up and down bracket. And then once you change the font to I Love Glitter, which you can get this free at defont.com, it makes the heart. And then on the swooshes, you use the brackets. So you can see on that screen the two square brackets. That makes either swoosh. I don't want them on the same text box, so I'm going to make one, and then we can just get another text box, make the other. So now we have our heart and we have our swooshes. We can resize these different sizes once we get our names. Next, you want to type in your kids' names. Now with I Love Glitter, I don't actually like this font for the names, because if you look up here, like in the K's and the middle of your letters, these are hard to cut. A lot of times when you weld them, they close. And on the shirt or on signs or whatever, it's a harder font to read. So you can, if you like it, you can stick with it. I'm going to change it to a different script font. You can choose any script font you want. I like Samantha because I think it's pretty easy to read. I'll go ahead and type my kids' names out, and then the next thing we want to do is ungroup these. Move the letters close together. Ungroup is on the top of your layers menu. Okay, once all of your letters are together, you want to select all the letters together in each name and then click the weld button. This keeps it together. See, like this is still separated. Keeps it together, and it will make it cut as one piece instead of each individual letter. So select and weld. And then I want to make my kids' names match about the same size. Since I have two kids, I want my heart to be in the middle of the O. So I'm going to hit this little unlock button on Kelby's name, since his name's not as long as Dakota's, and just stretch it out to make it the same length, so everything ends up even. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is change the color so we can see what we're doing. It's just to make it a different color. And then we can line it up. Actually, let's line it up down here. I'm going to keep doing that. Line it up down here. It's easier to see and get our letters together and everything even. Those are all straight. This one didn't change color. Okay, so this needs to come down a little bit. Once everything looks fairly even, select all the parts, and then we want to weld again. This keeps it all together. And then you can put it up over, and everything should be nice and centered. If you select both, you can come up to a line, and we're going to center horizontally. Yep, that makes that heart pretty well centered in the O. Close enough for me. I'm going to probably center it dead on the shirt, but it works. And that's all you do for this part. You just want to make sure everything lines up. I don't slice the letters out and try to line them up on the shirt. It's only 2 layers, so the layers have always just gone on fine for me. One thing you want to watch with your kids' names, right now that's 13.9 inches across is what I have mine. One that's kind of big for a shirt, and 2, if you don't have the longer cut mat, that's not going to work. If you don't have a 24-inch cut mat, you want to keep your kids' names under 11.5 inches. So let's just reduce that down to under 11.5, so we stay on the same on the 12-inch cut mats. And then when you click the Make It button, the next important step that I forget all the time, we're doing t-shirts, so you want this cut to be mirrored. On both of your mats, it will only, if we change this one to mirror, it doesn't automatically change your second one. You have to click on each mat and click the mirror button. You can see it will cut it backwards in a mirror shape, so that once it goes on the shirts, it will look fine. Okay, let's get our mats loaded up and get this ready to cut. Okay, so we're back and I have my vinyl sheets cut and we're ready to put it on our Cricut mat. With heat transfer vinyl, you want to make sure on most of them it's going to be the shiny side that goes down. I know it's hard to see which side's the shiny side on camera, and sometimes it's hard to see in person too. So I've wrecked enough vinyl that I do this every time now. I just come up to a little corner of my vinyl with my weeding tool and make sure I can pull it up. Then I know that's the side that goes up, because I've cut so many the wrong way. So now I know that this is the side I want to go up. We're going to go ahead and stick it to my cut mat. Smooth it down. Open up my Cricut here. Then we can load the mat. I already have it set. My dial turned to iron on. Get it under the tabs, hold it up, load it, and push the go button. Okay, I'm going to unload the mat. The black is cut. We can take that one off. So while that's cutting, I'm going to go ahead and cut this apart and start weeding it for our shirt. Okay, my white color is done now too. I'm going to go ahead and weed that, and then we will be back to get these lined up and put on the shirts. Okay, so I have my shirt set up here ready to go. I put a towel down to protect my table. I have my heat press preheated to 305 degrees, which is what is recommended by Sizer for this heat transfer vinyl. I want to show you one of the tricks I like to do. They recommend you preheat your shirt. Well, I go ahead and fold it in half for my preheat stage, and then flip it, but fold it in half again where the armpits are. And what that does is give us a nice little crease so we can center it, the HTV on it, when we press it. If you see the creases, the center is right there. So we can go ahead, make sure it's flat, go ahead and put our transfer on. Now the first transfer, you want to do a few seconds, but you don't have to leave the whole amount of time. You want it to stick, but we'll do the whole press time when we use our next one. Give it just a few seconds to cool. It will depend on which vinyl you use. I'll tell you if you peel it cold or peel it when it's still hot. Easy weed you can do either way, but I find if you give it just a few seconds to cool, it sticks down better, especially on this first press where we're not doing it the whole time. Then you get your second set of names, line it up there how you want it, get it centered. Now I'm not sure if you can see here on camera, but my carrier sheet does not cover all the vinyl we pre-pressed for our second one, and you want to make sure all the vinyl is covered or it will stick to your Easy Press, and you don't want that. So just get an old carrier sheet you had or the first carrier sheet you used to make sure all your vinyl is covered. Press it again, and this is when we're going to use the timer. I had it set for 15 seconds. We're going to make sure we press with medium pressure, so I'm pushing down pretty good on this. We're going to do both sides. And when that's done, I always flip it over, get the back side, just give it a good press from the back all along where that decal is, that transfer vinyl. Flip it back over. And like I said, this one you can peel hot, but I like to give it just a few seconds to cool. It just comes right off. And that is all there is to it, to making your beautiful mom shirt for Mother's Day or any day of the week. Thanks for watching. Once again, this is Chris from Daily Dose of DIY. Please like and subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.